Hello and welcome back, guys. This is Ibrahim Qureshi here, and today we are going to look at what's new in vSphere 8. So as you might be aware that VMware has recently announced vSphere 8, and we are going to look at all the new features of vSphere 8. So let's get started. But before that, if you are new to my channel, my name is Ibrahim Qureshi. My Twitter handle is Ibrahim Qureshi, as you can see here. I'm a VMware V expert, and my blog is agileops.co.uk. You can find all the new blog posts around vSphere 8 on my blog agileops.co.uk. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for new updates. Let's get started. So vSphere 8 basically has a lot of new features. We will be talking about some of the new features like data processing unit, which is also known as DPU, which is more hardware specific really, but there are quite a few vendors which are basically providing this new functionality, and we'll take a look into that as well. The other features around vSphere distributed services are vSphere distributed service engine, which is also a newly introduced concept with vSphere. And then we'll also look at how we can leverage this distributed service engine and configure and offload the network traffic. There are some catch or like do's and don'ts around it. You have to have a green field to be able to do that, so we'll look into that a little bit. Then we'll look into other features, but like guest OS workloads, but let's leave that for the next session. So let's get dived in to the vSphere distributed services now. So as I said, vSphere 8 is building a flexible and an open ecosystem for DPU solutions. So obviously we have a lot of vendors, Dell, NVIDIA, and Intel, AMD is here, HP, Lenovo. So obviously it is going to work with multiple hardware vendors. Okay, so what is vSphere distributed processing unit, which is DPU? So vSphere has an additional instance installed, and that is basically directly installed on the DPU, and that is we'll look into it how things will be, and how to manage, and how to update these additional hypervisor in the coming slides as well. But this basically allows ESX services to be offloaded to the DPU for increased performance. So as you know, obviously if you are running hypervisor, ESX hypervisor, most of the traffic, network traffic is handled by the ESX CPU itself. The hypervisor CPU cycles are, I wouldn't say wasted, but they are used for doing this mundane job. So what they are trying to do here is basically they are going to offload these sort of work on this isolation layer of DPUs. So let's look into how that works. So vSphere distributed service engine is basically introduced here. DPU basically has a new version or another version of ESX installed, and vSphere distributed service engine basically works and it takes care of the network and security and NSX services. So we know that we have NSX as a networking element from VMware. So it basically runs NSX services on this additional hypervisor which is going to be on the DPU. So managing, obviously you can have a look at the lifecycle session which I'm going to create next. But vSphere just to give you a hint, vSphere distributed service engine is lifecycle managed using vSphere lifecycle manager. So the VLCM basically is going to take care of maintaining it and upgrading it. So whenever you're upgrading your ESX host, that's going to take care of upgrading this particular hypervisor along with it. So it's all going to be centrally managed. and when you are remediating a host that contains a DPU ESX installed, the DPU ESX version is always remediated with the parent host. So the main core host, whenever it is basically going to be upgraded, it's going to keep the version locked with this parent host. So if you say for example, if we sent a 8 update 2 comes, so we'll get update 2 ESXi version. So if we are upgrading the ESX to update 2, the DPU version of ESX is going to be locked down and it's going to be upgraded at the same time. And that doesn't mean for VMware VI admins to manage, you know, two different hypervisors. It's still going to be managed as a single ESX host. So that is very important, and VMware has made it very clear that this hypervisor, you don't need to worry about it. It's going to be taken care about with the lifecycle manager. But one note I want to add is, obviously you can offload the network traffic to the DPU. However, vSphere only supports greenfield installation with support of network offload with NSX. So it has to be a greenfield. It has to be a brand new data center which you're configuring and deploying. It cannot be a mix and match. So that's another thing which I wanted to highlight here. So how would you change this setting? So in vSphere distributed switch version 8 and NSX networking services are offloaded to the DPU, allowing for increased network performance with obviously allowing the CPU to offload these mundane tasks, and the DPU manages this network traffic after that. So the additional advantages, you get enhanced visibility for network traffic and security and isolation and protection. You would the isolation part, obviously you would expect that from NSX anyway, isn't it? So that's always there. So but obviously in the new distributed switch configuration, you can see that network offload compatibility, you can set it to none, and then you can change it to the hardware vendor which you have to switch. I think that's it for this session, guys. If you do want to have vSphere 8 lab running hands-on experience, you can always go to hands-on lab, but I do offer online labs from my website. Log into my website and you can check out VMware and Cisco hands-on lab. It's purely for people who are struggling, who do not have the enough hardware to learn this new technology. You can basically contact me and I will be able to help you with that. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates. Don't forget to check out my blog agileops.co.uk, and you can follow me please on Twitter at Ibrahim Qureshi. Enjoy watching and keep sharing. Cheers.